I overheard my husband tell his friends that he knows I'm ugly, and even though he was defending me, those 4 words shattered everything I thought we had. I am an unattractive woman. Objectively, I've always been this way, and while I've learned to live with it over the years, it remains a daily reality that being an ugly woman in this world simply sucks. There's no other way to put it. Society treats you differently, people look past you or through you, and you spend your entire life watching beautiful women receive kindness and opportunities that will never be extended to you. I've made peace with this, or at least I thought I had, until Saturday night when everything I believed about my marriage came crashing down around me. I met my husband 4 years ago, and he is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. From the very beginning, he's told me I'm beautiful, not just occasionally, but frequently, consistently, and somehow he always sounded honest when he said it. He didn't sound like my mother, who had no choice but to tell me I was pretty because that's what mothers do. He sounded genuine, like he actually saw something in me that the rest of the world couldn't see. I'd started to believe him. God help me, I'd actually started to believe that maybe, just maybe, he really did find me attractive. Saturday night, he had a group of friends over to our home. They meet several times a month to hang out, catch up, and play games. He's known most of these guys since high school, and I've always tried to be a good host when they come over. I was upstairs in the kitchen preparing drinks and snacks when I realized I could hear them talking in the basement. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, it just happened. The house is old and sound carries, and before I could stop myself, I was listening. I realized they were talking about me. A couple of guys were teasing my husband about me, specifically about my looks. I could tell it was supposed to be funny. It was not. There was a point where one of them referred to me as a troll, and my husband exploded. He started shouting, really shouting. Listen, shut the fuck up. I know that she's ugly, but shut up. She makes me happy. Does your bimbo of the week do that, Jim? Dave, how long has it been since we've hung out and you haven't bitched about your wife? He went on for a while, defending me, standing up for me against his friends. But all I could hear was that one sentence playing over and over in my head. I know that she's ugly. I know that she's ugly. I know that she's ugly. It broke me. I don't know why, but it just completely shattered something inside me that I didn't even know was there. I've always known I'm unattractive. I look in the mirror every single day. I see how people react to me in public, how their eyes slide past me to focus on prettier women. I know what I am, but he isn't supposed to know. He's supposed to be the one person in the entire world who actually thinks I'm beautiful, who looks at me and sees something different than what everyone else sees. He tells me I'm beautiful so sincerely and so consistently that I'd started to actually believe he thought that. And in one sentence, one moment of anger at his friends, he destroyed that belief completely. I started to cry and ran into the shower so no one could hear me. When I came out an hour later, everyone had gone home, far earlier than normal. I went to bed and haven't spoken to him all day today. I think I've been able to avoid letting him know I'm upset, or at least avoid him noticing that I'm avoiding him. I know rationally that what he said was true, and even sweet in its own way, that I should be happy he loves me, and not my body. But it doesn't seem to matter. I just want to be pretty. God, I feel so shallow. I've been crying all day. Part of me wants to call him a liar, to scream and yell and cry, while the other part just wants to run away and never have to acknowledge that even the greatest man I will ever meet can't find me attractive. I lost a lottery spectacularly at birth, and my life feels like a big joke, a cycle of humiliation and punishment I did nothing to deserve. Before I met him, I'd given up hope I'd ever have a partner who even liked me, and now I don't know how to talk to him, how to look him in the eye, how to believe him when he tells me I'm beautiful ever again. The responses I got when I posted about this were overwhelming. Hundreds of messages, all telling me essentially the same thing, that my husband had stood up for me in the heat of the moment, that his words came out wrong because he was angry, that what he meant was, I'm beautiful to him even if the world doesn't see it. People told me I had a keeper, that most women would kill to have a man who defended them the way mine had defended me. They told me to talk to him, to tell him what I'd heard and how it made me feel. So yesterday, after we were both home from work, I told him I needed to talk. I said I'd overheard him and his friends, and he immediately started apologizing for them, calling them jerks and assholes, saying I should have told him I'd heard. I had to stop him to let me get a word in. I told him it wasn't his friends so much as it was what he said. When I told him which part, his whole tone changed. I could tell he wasn't expecting to be blamed. I'd had the whole conversation planned out in my head. I wanted to explain how it made me feel, how I'd thought he really was attracted to me, how betrayed I felt hearing him say that behind my back. But I just started to cry and couldn't communicate what I wanted to say. He held me, and after a minute started to speak like he was reading right out of the nicest comments from the people who'd responded to my post. He told me he was just angry and didn't speak very well, that he really does find me attractive even if the world doesn't, even if his friends don't. I calmed down pretty quickly. I'd basically cried myself out the day before. Then he took me to his computer and showed me an email he'd sent to all his friends on Sunday. He'd called them all assholes, said they'd crossed the line from good-natured trash talk to just being jerks. He told them that for the indefinite future, they'd have to find another host, that they were no longer welcome in my home. He actually wrote her home instead of our home, which I thought might make it sound like I was ordering him around, but he said he just wanted to emphasize how wrong what they were doing was. Seeing him stand up for me again made me happy, especially seeing him do it without talking badly about me, which helped me believe it really was just heat-of-the-moment bad word choice. He told me to wait in the room and left, coming back with a folder. He said he was going to give me this for Christmas, but that he'd get me something else. I tried to say no, but he insisted. It was plane tickets and brochures. He'd set up a trip in early January to this spa resort hotel thing in British Columbia. It was mind-blowing, but I realized it had to be several $1,000s he'd spent. We budget pretty thoroughly, and he shouldn't have been able to spend that without me noticing. When I asked where he got the money, he said he'd been planning this for more than a year, saving all the money assigned to his weekly spending money, collecting change from groceries, setting it aside where I wouldn't notice. When I say sometimes I'm not sure I deserve him, understand that I'm not having a crisis. He's just really, genuinely awesome. Looking back now with some distance, I can see what happened more clearly. My husband was angry at his friends for disrespecting me, and in that anger, he said something that came out wrong. What he meant was that the world might judge me by conventional beauty standards, but to him, I'm beautiful. He meant that my appearance doesn't matter to him the way it matters to shallow people who only value surfaces. He meant that he loves me, all of me, and that his friends needed to understand that before they opened their mouths again. I still wish I was prettier. I'm not going to lie about that. I wish I could walk into a room and have people smile at me the way they smile at beautiful women. I wish I could see myself in the mirror and feel that rush of confidence that pretty girls must feel every single day. But I also understand now how lucky I am, how happy I should be, and that prettiness and happiness are not synonyms. My husband has shown me, again and again, that he loves me, not despite my appearance, but including it. He sees me as a whole person, and that whole person is beautiful to him. The people who responded to my original post were right. When you really love someone, you look at them and think, almost with resignation, I really don't know what I would change. She's beautiful. And if you're lucky enough that things work out and you build a happy life together, that feeling grows into something even more profound, because looks are for people on the outside. When you're truly connected to someone, you're inside each other. You're too close for surface judgments to matter anymore. I'm going to try to internalize that. I'm going to try to believe what my husband has been telling me all along, that I am beautiful to him. Not because he's lying or delusional, but because beauty isn't just about symmetrical features and smooth skin, and all the things magazines tell us matter. Beauty is also about the way someone makes you feel, the life you build together, the person you become when you're with them. And by that measure, maybe I really am beautiful after all.